top 5 Japanese cars that rewrote automotive history. Number 5, Mazda RX7. There are cars that get built, and then there are cars that get dreamed. The Mazda RX7 is the latter, a machine that refused to follow the rules and became legendary for it. From the moment you see those long flowing lines, the pop-up headlights, and that impossibly low hood, you already know. This isn't just a sports car, this is a statement, but the real story lives under that hood. Instead of a conventional piston engine, Mazda dared to put a twin-rotor Wankel rotary engine at the heart of the RX-7, a decision that baffled engineers around the world and thrilled every single driver who ever pushed it to the limit. In its final form, the FD generation produced 255 horsepower, and thanks to a feather-light body weighing barely over 1,200 kilograms, it handled with a precision that felt almost supernatural. 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds, a top speed of over 155 miles per hour, and a chassis balanced so perfectly tuned it still benchmarks against modern sports cars today. The price when new, around $32,000, an absolute bargain for what Mazda delivered. Step inside and you're greeted by a cockpit that wraps around you like a second skin. Tight, focused, intentional. Every control placed exactly where your hand naturally reaches. This is a car that communicates through the steering, through the seat, through every vibration in the chassis. But what truly sets the RX-7 apart is its legacy. Decades after production ended, it still commands obsessive devotion. Collectors cross continents for clean examples. Tuners dedicate years to perfecting them. It became the spiritual symbol of Japanese engineering courage. The proof that sometimes the most fascinating path is the one nobody else was willing to walk. The Mazda RX-7 didn't just compete with the world's great sports cars. In many ways, it outlasted them. Number 4, Honda NSX. In 1990, Honda did something that no one believed was possible. They built a supercar that could embarrass a Ferrari, and then made it so reliable you could drive it to work on Monday morning. The NSX was Japan's answer to a question the world hadn't even thought to ask yet. Could a Japanese manufacturer produce a mid-engine exotic that matched the passion of Europe, but added something Europe had never managed? Dependability? The answer arrived in the form of an all-aluminum body, an all-aluminum chassis, and a 3.0-liter V6 VTEC engine producing 270 horsepower, mid-mounted, and singing all the way to 8,000 revolutions per minute. Ayrton Senna, arguably the greatest driver who ever lived, personally tested the NSX at the Nürburgring and sent Honda back to stiffen the chassis. His fingerprints are on this car. That alone tells you everything. 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds, a top speed of 168 miles per hour. Those numbers don't sound extreme by today's standards. But in 1990, this was a machine that made European manufacturers genuinely nervous. Ferrari reportedly rushed the 348 through development just to respond. The original price was around $60,000 for a hand-built aluminum exotic with race car DNA, staggering value. Sitting inside is like stepping into the future, frozen in amber. The visibility is extraordinary, the ergonomics are perfect, and that VTEC engine, when it hits its power band and the revs climb toward the ceiling, it produces one of the most intoxicating sounds ever to come from a naturally aspirated engine. A high, clean, almost musical scream that sounds like mechanical joy. The NSX didn't just write a chapter in Japanese automotive history, it rewrote the entire rulebook on what a sports car from Asia could mean to the world. Number 3, Toyota 2000 GT. Long before Japan was known for performance cars, there was one machine that announced to the world, quietly, elegantly, and with devastating confidence, that Japan had arrived. The Toyota 2000 GT, built from 1967 to 1970, only 351 units ever produced, and considered by many historians to be the most beautiful Japanese car ever made. This was the car that carried Japan's ambitions on its hood, with those sweeping Jaguar E-Type inspired curves, the triple round taillights, the wooden steering wheel, and the triple Weber carburetor setup. feeding a twin-cam 2.0-liter straight six. This was Japan proving to Europe that craftsmanship had no borders. It produced 150 horsepower in an era when that was genuinely impressive. 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds, a top speed approaching 135 miles per hour. But the numbers were never the point. The point was the intention. Toyota and Yamaha, yes, Yamaha helped engineer this car, built the 2000 GT as an act of national pride. Every surface, every joint, every detail was executed to a standard that would have made any British or Italian manufacturer pause in respect. The original price was approximately $6,800, which was double the cost of a Toyota Corolla at the time and comparable to a Porsche 911. Today, pristine examples sell for over $1 million because the world eventually understood what Japan was trying to say with this car. The 2000 GT didn't start a revolution immediately, but it planted a seed. And everything that followed, every Supra, every NSX, every Skyline, grew from this extraordinary, almost forgotten foundation. Number 2, Nissan Skyline GT-RR 34. There are cars, there are legends. And then there is the R34 GTR, a machine so deeply embedded in global car culture that it transcended borders, transcended eras, and became the single most iconic Japanese performance car ever made. The name alone carries weight. Godzilla. That's what the Automotive press called it. Not a nickname that was given to it. A nickname that was earned, lap by lap, race by race, on tracks where cars twice its price got devoured. Under the hood, a 2.6-liter twin-turbocharged RB26DETT inline six, producing an officially stated 276 horsepower. A figure everyone knew was dramatically understated. With the legendary Atessa ETS all-wheel drive system and a rear-wheel steering setup that made it rotate through corners like nothing else on public roads. The R34 was a weapon disguised as a road car, 0 to 60 in around 4.7 seconds in stock form. But stock was rarely how these cars stayed. Because the RB26 engine had an almost mythical ability to handle power. 500, 600, even 700 horsepower with the right modifications, while remaining daily drivable. The original price was around $31,000 in Japan. Today, R34 GTRs in good condition sell for upwards of $200,000. Some rare near-spec examples have broken $500,000 at auction. The market is simply trying to catch up with what enthusiasts already knew decades ago. Inside, the multi-function display, the Nismo gauges, the bucket seats, the short-throw gear lever sitting exactly where your hand falls. Every detail says this car was designed by people who actually understood driving. Not marketing executives, not focus groups, people who loved what they were building. The R34 GTR didn't just win races, it changed the entire conversation about what a production car could do. It proved that Japan could out-engineer Germany, outperform Italy, and do it with engineering so robust that these cars are still being pushed hard on tracks today. A quarter century after they rolled off the line. This is not just a car. This is the car that made the world take Japan seriously, permanently. Number 1, Toyota Supra MK4, and finally, the one. The car that doesn't need an introduction, but deserves one anyway. The Toyota Supra Mark IV, a car so far ahead of its time that the world is still catching up to it. When Toyota unveiled the A80 Supra in 1993, they didn't just release a sports car, they released a declaration. Under that long, muscular hood sat the 2 JZG-TE, a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged inline-six engine that automotive engineers still study today. In stock form, 320 horsepower. In upgraded form, the number became almost philosophical. 500 horsepower, 700, 1,000. There are documented examples running over 1,500 horsepower on the same fundamental engine block. The 2JZ wasn't just strong, it was almost indestructible. 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds from the factory. Top speed electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. A limit that felt almost insulting given what the engine was capable of. The 6-speed manual get-drag gearbox was one of the finest ever fitted to a production car. The double wishbone suspension delivered a ride and handling balance that had journalists reaching for superlatives they hadn't needed since the Porsche 959. The original price was around $39,000 in the United States. Today, pristine, low-mileage examples regularly sell for over $150,000. Some rare examples have crossed $200,000. The market has spoken loudly, clearly, and without hesitation. Sitting inside, you feel the intent immediately: the low seating position, the cockpit closing around you, the analog gauges, boost pressure, oil temperature, the clean sweep of the tachometer. This is a car that wants you to be present, that demands your full attention and rewards it with everything it has. But the Supra Mark IV's legacy reaches further than any spec sheet can measure. It became the symbol of an entire era, of fast cars, of underground racing culture, of a generation that grew up believing Japan built the most exciting cars on the planet. It inspired films, video games, entire communities of builders and tuners who treated the two JZ like a sculptor treats marble, finding perfection inside by removing everything that wasn't needed. Over 30 years after it was built, the Supra MK4 is still on track, still breaking records, still being improved by people who refuse to let it become merely a memory. Because the Supra Mark IV was never just a car, it was proof. Proof that Japan could build something so right, so fundamentally correct, that time itself couldn't diminish it. That is heritage. That is legacy. And that is why, after all these years, the Supra still sits at the very top. And there you have it, the top 5 Japanese cars that didn't just make history. They became history. From Mazda's rotary revolution, to Honda's engineering masterpiece, to the silent elegance of Toyota's 2000 GT, the unstoppable force of Godzilla, and the eternal legend of the Supra, Japan proved to the world that automotive greatness isn't measured in country of origin. It's measured in the courage to build something genuinely extraordinary. Which one would you have in your garage? Let us know in the comments below. And if this got your heart racing, don't miss our video on the top 5 German engineering icons, or take a deep dive into the most legendary engines ever built. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next ride is already on its way.